Okay, so hello friends. So from today onwards, I'm starting a new subject, that is strength of material. So till now we have covered fluid mechanics. Okay, we have covered almost 100 questions, which has been asked in the previous year in SSCJE exam. So from now onwards, we will try to solve different questions on strength of materials. So still, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell. So let us see question number 1. The strain energy which is stored in a body due to external loading within elastic limit is known as. So strain energy which is stored in a body due to external loading within elastic limit is known as what? Resilience. Okay, so malleability means what? You can make the sheets out of raw material. Then ductility means what? You can make the thin wires from out of raw material. Okay, and toughness means what? It is basically the area under stress strain diagram. Okay, next. Question number 2. The proof resilience in a member is stored strain energy per unit volume. Okay, so basically strain energy per unit volume, that is half sigma into epsilon per unit volume. It is what? Proof resilience. It is what? Proof resilience. Okay, next. The resilience of a material is considered when it is subjected to. Okay, so basically resilience is what? It is defined as energy absorption capacity. Okay, resilience is what? It's a energy absorption capacity. Okay, so modulus of resilience and modulus of toughness, these are the two important properties of the material when it is subjected to impact loading. Now another word for the impact loading is also shock loading. So impact or shock loading, these are the two terms you have to remember in case of resilience or toughness. Okay, next. The ability of a tool material to resist shock or impact forces. So just now we have seen modulus of resilience. See here, modulus of resilience. Okay, and modulus of toughness. So these two modulus you are going to use whenever there is shock loading or impact loading. Okay, so impact forces has been asked here. So correct answer will be toughness. So hope you are getting this question. Next, which of the following is a dimensionless quantity? Okay, shear stress, so it's a stress, so it will have the unit Newton per meter square. Then bulk modulus is what? It is minus dp upon dv by v. Okay, so again it is Newton per meter square. Then shear modulus, it is G, again unit will be Newton per meter square. So it's a Poisson's ratio which do not have dimension. It's a dimensionless quantity. And what is Poisson's ratio? It is denoted by mu. It is what? Lateral strain to that of longitudinal strain. Okay, next. Percentage elongation during tensile state test is a indicative of. Okay, so see, whenever you are performing a tensile stress, you will get force upon delta L. You will plot this graph. Okay, now when you will divide all the quantity of y-axis by area, you will get stress, and when you will divide all the dimensions of x-axis by original length, you will get what? Strength. So this is how you get stress versus strain diagram. Okay, so what they have asked? They have asked you percentage of elongation. So basically elongation, it is on x-axis. Okay, so this indicate what it indicate? It indicates ductility. Okay, how much material can be stretched? So basically it is what? Ductility. Next question, question number 7. On application of given load, the length of the wire is stated to be increased by 1 mm. If the same force is now applied to a wire of same material but of length and radius twice the first, the extension produced would be, so 0.25 mm, 0.5 mm, 2 mm, and you are having what? 4.0 mm. Okay, see, we know that delta L, what is the formula to calculate change in length? It is PL upon AE. It is what? PL upon AE. Now, if you put area, which is pi by 4 d square, what you will get? You will get 4 PL upon pi d square into E. And this is given as 1 mm. See here, increase. How much it is? It is given as 1 mm. Okay. Now, in the second case, same force is applied. Same force, but length and radius are twice the first. That means new length L dash, it is twice the original, and D dash, that is new diameter, it is twice the original diameter. Twice the original diameter. Okay, so how you will calculate now change in length? That is delta 2. What will be formula? P L dash, it is with same force, upon A dash into E, right? Or which is equal to PL dash 4PL 4PL dash upon pi D dash square into E. Okay, so what I can write? 4P, instead of L dash it is 2L divided by pi into, what is D dash? 2D, so it will be 4D square into E. Okay, so what you will get? Okay, so see here, I will write 4PL upon pi D square E. So what will be remaining? 1 by 2. So this is equal to 1 by into, what is 4PL pi D square E? It is given as 1 mm into 1. So it will be 1 by 2. It will be 0.5 mm. So this will be your answer. Okay. Next. So hope you are getting this. A very good example. Consider a bar of length L tapering uniformly from diameter D2 to D1 subjected to axial load W. The extension of the bar, again you have to find out delta L will be equal to what? Okay, what is the given geometry? There is a bar Okay, so this diameter, it is how much? D2. This diameter is how much? D1. L is the length, and you are having W, that is load. W, it is acting. So you have to find in this case what will be delta N. So we know formula, you have to remember this formula. It is equal to 4WL upon pi D1 D2 into E. Okay, so what will be the correct answer? Correct answer will be option number A. Okay, so please remember this formula, a very important formula. Okay, basically it is 4PL pi d square E. Okay, original formula. Okay, next. Poisson's ratio is used in. So Poisson's ratio is used in both 2 and 3 dimensions body. Okay, it can be used in 2 and 3 dimensional body. Next, which of the following is a correct expression? Okay, so see here, we know that how you can write volumetric strain epsilon V, which is equal to delta V upon V, volumetric strain. What is expression for this? Sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z upon E in bracket 1 minus 2 mu. Okay, or it can be 2 upon m. So this equation we have. Now, when there is a hydrostatic state condition, see here, when there is hydrostatic state condition, at this time, for hydrostatic loading, we are having sigma x is equal to sigma y is equal to sigma, and you can write it as sigma. So what this expression will be? Epsilon V is equal to 3 sigma upon E in bracket 1 minus 2 upon M. Okay, now in the option, expressions are for E. Expressions are for E. So we will solve this expression for E. E is equal to 3 sigma upon epsilon V 1 minus 2 upon M. Now 3, it is sigma upon epsilon V. It is equal to K or C. Okay, in bracket 1 minus 2 upon M. Okay, check the option. 3K in bracket 1 minus 2 upon M. So I think option is not there. Option is not there. Okay, but remember this, how we have reached through this equation. Okay, so important point is this formula and what are the hydrostate conditions. Okay, next question number 11. Hooke's law holds good up to. Okay, so we know Hooke's law, within proportional limit, stress is what? Directly proportional to strain. That is what? Hooke's law. Okay, next, the percentage reduction in area in case of cast iron when it is subjected to tensile test is of the order. Okay, so basically see, material is what here? Material is cast iron. So it is very hard and brittle. So you will not get any percentage reduction in area in case of cast iron. Okay, so basically it is what? 0%. It is basically a 0%. Okay, next. Question number 13. When wire is stretched to double in its length, the longitudinal strain produced in it is. Okay, so let the initial length be L. Now, final length will be what? What will be final length? See, it is stretched to 2L. Okay. Now, how you will find a longitudinal strain which is equal to change in length? What will be change in length? 2L minus L upon original length, which is equal to L by L, which is equal to 1. So correct answer will be P. Okay. So these are quite easy, but you must know all the formula basics of strength of material. Let us see question number 14. If equal and opposite forces are applied to a body tend to elongate it, the stress so produced is called as. Okay, so you are having, suppose you are having a body, okay, and the forces, equal and opposite forces are applied to a body to elongate it. So what will be the direction of force? This is how your force will be. The body is going to elongate. So which type of stresses will be produced? Okay, it is going away from the center line. It's a tensile. Okay, if it is, the situation is like this, it is coming towards the center. So in this case, it will be compressive stresses. Okay, so this is tensile. So correct answer will be B. Okay, next. 15. The strain energy stored in a body due to direct stress F is. Okay, see, what is formula to calculate strain energy? What is basically for strain energy? Let us understand. So strain energy is half into P into delta. Half P into delta. P is what? Load, and delta is what? Change in dimension. So half into P. What is formula to calculate change in dimension? Change in length? PL upon AE. PL upon AE. So this is equal to half. Okay. So can I write P square upon A square into LA upon E? Is it right? So what you will get? Half. Now P upon A. Load upon area is what? Stress. Stress is denoted by what? Stress is denoted by F here. So this will be F square into this E. And what is A into L? It is volume. So half sigma square or F square upon E into volume. This will be the required formula to calculate strain energy stored in a body. So what will be the correct option? Correct option will be C. Okay. So hope you are getting this a very good, this will be a very good exercise for all the aspirants who are preparing for different competitive exams. Next, modulus of rigidity is the ratio of, what is modulus of rigidity or shear modulus? It is denoted by G. It is what? Shear stress upon shear area. Okay, shear stress upon shear strain. Okay, what is modulus of rigidity? Shear stress upon shear strain. So shear strain, shear stress upon shear strain. Okay, so C will be correct. Next. Okay, a very important MCQ. The elastic constant E, G, and K are related by the expression. Okay, so what are the different expression we know? E is equal to 2G in bracket 1 plus mu first. Next, E is equal to 3K in bracket 1 minus 2 mu. And E is equal to 9 kg upon 3K plus G. So you have to remember all these formulas. Next, so what will be the correct answer? Correct answer will be 9 kg upon 3K plus G. 9 kg upon 3K plus G. Okay. Next, 18. A cylindrical rod of length L, diameter D is rigidly fixed at its upper end and hangs vertically. Okay. The elongation produced in a rod due to its self weight. Okay, such type of MCQ, if it is asked, you must know the formulas. See, what is the situation? You are having one vertical wall, okay, and it is held at its upper end. It is hanging vertically. What is the length? L is the length and D is the diameter. Okay, and it will have the self weight, that is W. So in this case, what will be elongation? Delta L, which is equal to WL upon 2AE. So you must know, you must remember this formula. Delta L due to self weight. This is due to what? Important is delta L due to self weight. WL upon 2AE. WL upon 2AE. Okay. Next. True stress represents the ratio of. Okay. What is true stress? You are having two things, true stress and engineering stress. Okay, you are having engineer stress and curve, true stress and curve. So what is true stress? It is a instantaneous load divided by instantaneous area of cross section. Area of cross section. Okay, so what will be the correct? Instantaneous load to that of instantaneous area. Okay, true stress. Instantaneous means at that time. Let's say true stress, you have to find out at t is equal to 1 minute. So at 1 minute, what will be the load and what will be the area? That value will be true stress. Okay, next. So let us see a last MCQ of this first part of strength of material. Which of the following has the highest value of Poisson's ratio? Rubber, copper, steel, concrete. Okay, so which material will have highest value of Poisson's ratio? It will be a rubber. Okay, what are these values for rubber? What is the value of Poisson's ratio? Around 0.48. For copper, it is around 0.35. For steel, it is around 0.27. For concrete, it is around 0.15. Okay, so these are the various values of Poisson's ratio. See, you may not get, they will not ask specific what is the value of Poisson's ratio for copper, but you must know the comparison for different materials. Okay, so please remember rubber, it will have the highest value of Poisson's ratio. Then you will have copper, then steel, and lastly concrete. Okay, so hope you have understood all these MCQs from question number 1 to question number 20. In the next part, we will see from question number 21 onwards. Till then, please do share with your friends also so that they will also get benefited with this. Till then, thank you.